Peyton Manning has another Super Bowl ring to show off today as the Broncos pulled off an impressive win in Super Bowl 50.
We'll have more on this year's biggest game of the year coming up on NewsWatch. Good evening. I'm Taylor Hartenstein.
And I'm Madison Heil. Of course, the Broncos aren't the only ones coming off a big win. Over the weekend, the Ole Miss Rebels took on Vanderbilt on Saturday. For more on that game, we're sending it over to Rebel Watch's David Kennedy. David.
Thanks, guys. Over the weekend, the Ole Miss Rebels took on Vanderbilt in the Pavilion. Let's take a look at the highlights here. As you can see, Vanderbilt was up at the beginning of the game, and as they took it up in a nice little layup right there. Hornets pretty good. But Ole Miss would start coming back. Stephon Moody would feed it up the middle, and the Rebels were, surprising some people in this game where they were predicted to lose by most experts. Moody takes it back up again and nails a nice three. Moody again. Oh, but picked off, and here we go. We get a nice little layup and a little push, and we got some bad action here. Moody pushes. He dabs a little bit, and the Rebels, right now they started getting in some foul trouble. Thomas Jello actually fouls out, but the Rebels continued on, kept playing. Nice little another three there, and the fans are loving it. So, yeah, later in the show, we'll have more reaction from Andy Kennedy and Moody. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, David. And, of course, that wasn't the only game this weekend for the big game. The Denver Broncos last night beat the Carolina Panthers 24-10 in the second highest viewed Super Bowl in history, with over 111 million viewers. It estimated on Super Bowl Sunday, 1.3 billion chicken wings will be consumed, all while watching commercials that cost an average $167,000 a second. But 50 was perhaps the biggest and most important number of the night. This was the 50th Super Bowl played since its inception in 1967. Well, a new student group on campus is looking to bridge the divide between the student body and university police. UP-Me began as a response to the lack of active shooter training on campus. Though the group is new, UP-Me has already joined forces with both the administration and the UPD, with hopes to expand the outreach program to cover additional topics next year. UP-Me's president, Katie White, said the club's main focus this semester will be training through peer educators.
Hey, I'm here with Summer Wigley, creator of a new storytelling campaign at Ole Miss, More Than a Month. Summer, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
First off, just tell us a bit about what exactly More Than a Month is.
Of course. So More Than a Month is a photo storytelling campaign that kind of highlights different people's stories. It focuses mostly on Heritage and History Months, and just basically to say that while we do celebrate the history and heritage throughout this month, you can celebrate it beyond that, and we're history in the making.
Awesome. And what inspired you to start this campaign?
Well, I'm actually a photographer on the side, and I work at the Center for Inclusion and Cross-Cultural Engagement, and I just kind of really love Humans of New York and that platform, and I was like, let's bring it to Oxford, let's hear people's stories. And so we started it with February 1st being the first day of Black History Month, and we'll continue it on as the Heritage and History Months continue throughout the year.
So aside from this month, you plan to continue the campaign on further?
Yes, so Women's History Month is in March, and so I'd like to continue on with that and hear different perspectives regarding that month and women's history as well.
And lastly, just tell us, what do you want people to take away from this whole campaign?
I think for me, what I've learned throughout this experience and what I would hope others would learn is to just listen and learn from others. People have stories to tell, and you can learn so much when you hear different stories and different perspectives from people different than you. So basically just listen and you'll learn so much.
Well, congrats on the launch of your campaign, and thanks for joining us again.
Thank you so much.
Well, what about that halftime show? When we return, Jack Bedrosian joins us to take a look at last night's performance. But first, Taylor Martin has our first look at the current conditions.
Hey everyone, it's been a pretty windy day. It's currently 42 degrees and we've got winds at about 20 to 30 miles an hour. And we've got a little bit of chance of rain later, but I'll give you some more details later on in the broadcast.
Rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. When I walked into the shelter, I knew she was special.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Let's hit those pearly whites, man.
Boys, check it out.
Ooh, cute.
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
Hey, girl. Hey, girl. What's up? What's the name? What's good? What's up?
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Sir, go and step out of the vehicle for me.
Yes, sir.
See ya, buddy. Today, Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing. And it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Welcome back. Everyone knows that there's more to the Super Bowl than just football. From the food to the commercials to the amazing halftime show, there's great stuff for everyone. Our very own Jack Bedrosian joins us in the studio for our very own halftime recap. Jack?
Thanks, Taylor. The Broncos won the game, but Beyonce won the night. Here's all you need to know about her halftime performance and New World Tour.
Beyonce slayed the halftime performance last night. The powerhouse joined the stage with Coldplay and Bruno Mars with her new song, Formation. She released her new anthem Saturday and the internet shut down. Orange is the New Black star Laverne Cox even tweeted, "Okay ladies, now let's get in formation." Queen Bee's music video shows the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina and endorses the Black Lives Matter movement. Her adorable daughter, Blue Ivy, even has a cameo.
World Tour will kick off in April. As part of the tour, Beyonce is encouraging fans to donate money to the United Way of Genesee County to help improve water conditions in Flint, Michigan. Taylor?
Thanks, Jack. A case recently heard in the Mississippi Court of Appeals has the potential to affect thousands of inmates serving time for drug charges. Nathan Cinco pled guilty to drug charges 3 years ago, but now argues that a change in the state's parole policies made him ineligible for parole. The Attorney General's office, however, argues that issues raised by Cinco's petition are without merit. Expect to hear more from the court in the coming days. The Mardi Gras parade in Pascrest Jan turned violent last night. After a parade-goer opened fire into the crowd, 2 are dead and 1 is injured in the attack. Police were able to arrest the suspect and secure the area for those still in attendance. The police have yet to determine a cause for the shootings.
This morning in Gulfport, Governor Phil Bryant announced an agreement between the state and Topship to bring 1,000 new shipbuilding jobs to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. CEO Gary Schwest of Edison Schwest Offshore promised that the jobs at his company will have an average salary of $40,000 and that Topship is making a 50-year agreement. Schwest cited the work ethic of the people in Gulfport as a deciding factor in bringing the project to the coast. The company's operations will be located at the Port of Gulfport's new inland port on Seaway Road. In New York City, public schools closed today in honor of the Lunar New Year. This is the first time the city's public schools closed for the holiday that is celebrated by several Asian communities. According to the Associated Press, About a sixth of the city's 1.1 million public school students are of Asian descent. And after months of pressure from advocates, Mayor Bill de Blasio announced last June that the holiday would be recognized. Now, students no longer have to choose between their religious or cultural obligations and upholding school attendance. Today, Chipotle stores across the country opened later than usual so employees could discuss the change's recent food safety scares. Workers gathered in movie theaters and hotel conference centers at numerous locations where meetings by company executives were shown live. Chipotle co-CEO Monte Morin said last week that executives would be discussing new procedures to ensure food safety. These meetings come after dozens of customers became sick after an E. coli breakout in October and then again by a norovirus in December. Stores were opened at 3 p.m. after the meetings ended.
Rescuers continue to work around the clock after a 17-story building collapsed in Taiwan following a magnitude 6.4 earthquake. As of now, 38 have been confirmed dead, though authorities have managed to rescue more than 170 people, many trapped under the debris from the collapsed building. Work continues as the Lunar New Year officially started today, though festivities were subdued due to the disaster. Three people were mauled after a leopard entered school grounds in Bangalore, India. Surveillance videos show the cat chase terrified men around the school's pool, attacking as the men attempted to flee. The leopard escaped but was cornered later in a school bathroom. The leopard was tranquilized, and luckily, no one else was hurt.
The groundhog may have seen his shadow last week, but it still feels like winter here in Oxford.
Taylor Morton has the extended forecast when NewsWatch returns.
Football is a game that you're going to get knocked down, and you're going to make a mistake, whether you miss a tackle or you miss a read or you blow a coverage or miss a block. Those things are going to happen, but you can't cry over spilt milk. You got to get up and go again. To my regular cleats, and just somehow I got the picture.
Coach Hill really set the bar as a head coach, in my opinion, because a coach not only taught you how to play a game, he taught you how to be a better person, and he was really good at that. He was a role model, somebody you could look up to and go to if you needed anything.
I started playing football when I was 11. If my math right, that's 50 years of football I've been involved with. And that's every day, all my life, and I love the game of football, still love it, and still enjoy coaching, still enjoy that. But it's really time for me I've got a lot of grandkids. There's some things that I want to do that I can't do because as a coach and AD, you don't have time to do those things.
Go Johnny, a Rebel Watch production.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
What's good, what's up, what's happening today? Let's go, Pearly Whites, man. Yeah. The boys, check it, snap.
Ooh, cute.
Are you good to try?
I'm fine. Hey girl, what's up, what's the name, what's good, what's up?
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Sir, go ahead and step out of the vehicle for me.
Yes, sir. See ya, buddy. Today, Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
What's going on, everyone? I'm Taylor Martin with Stormwatch. Right now it's currently 42 degrees and we've got a little bit of an overcast and it's been pretty windy out with 20 to 30 mile per hour winds. So watch out for those, and it kind of feels like it's around 37 degrees even though it's a little warmer than that with all the wind. And looking at our satellite image, you can see that we have a little bit of cloud coverage over the area. We might expect a few sprinkles later on this evening, but nothing major as far as rainfall. And looking at our current temperatures, we got 40s all across the region, 42 in Oxford and 46 all the way up in South Haven. And for tomorrow's temperatures, it's going to be about the same as today, maybe a little cooler. And again, a lot of these, it's going to feel a lot cooler with the wind. And so looking at tonight's forecast, it's going to get down to about 25 degrees, so below freezing, and the wind is going to die down a little bit, and the clouds are going to clear out for tomorrow. And looking at tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be a high of 41, partly cloudy, winds dying down a little bit, but definitely some more sun in the forecast. And looking at the 5-day, we've got mainly sunny skies for the next week, and it's going to stay about 40s and 50s, a little nicer with mid-50s for Thursday and Friday, and back down to 40s for the weekend, but all sun and no rain.
So sadly, there's going to be no chance of a snow day this week.
Sadly not. We might have seen the last of those, but you never know.
Cool. Well, fingers crossed. We've got more on the Ole Miss basketball game coming, including interviews with Stephon Moody and Andy Kennedy. Come back, Rebel Watch is next.
Basketball is my sport.
Baseball is my sport.
Softball is my sport.
Football is my sport. Excelling in the classroom is my job.
Your time in the classroom is important.
Make it count.
Make it count.
Make it count. Make it count. Go to class.
Go to class.
We excel on the court and in the classroom.
You're here for a reason.
Prepare yourself.
Prepare yourself. Go to class. Be a rebel. Be a rebel. Be a rebel. Go to class.
Go to class.
Go to class.
Just go to class.
Por favor, ve a clase.
It's simple. Just go to class.
Don't be a knucklehead. Go to class. Want a free pizza from Domino's? It's just a game night, late night, bro time, whoa, dance off, pizza cake, and a hot date away. With Domino's new Piece of the Pie rewards, you can earn a free pizza after just 6 online orders of $10 or more. Order our $5.99 deal and sign up to get your piece of the pie at Domino's.com.
Ready or not, here I come, you can't hide. Ready or not, here I come, you can't hide. Ready or not, here I come, you can't
Welcome to Rebel Watch. I'm David Kennedy. Breaking news, Sebastian Saez has been cleared by doctors this morning to return from his retinal injury. The junior forward from Madrid, Spain was having a strong season up until January 13th when he woke up with his vision off. In his absence, the Rebels have gone 2-4. Saez will be ready to play immediately Tuesday. We have not heard whether or not how much playing time he will get when the Rebels take on the Gators. Now, the Ole Miss Rebels took on Vanderbilt Saturday night, and, they were thought to be a bit of a reach to make the NCAA tournament. But with a win over a quality team, the tide has begun to turn for the Rebels. Here's what Coach Kennedy had to say.
Challenged our group. This group has not handled in-game adversity as well as we need to. And we've wilted at times for whatever the reason. But I thought tonight, man, we settled in. We made some hard plays to me, the biggest plays of the game were off missed shots. And KG, Marcavis Hyman, fighting, Anthony Perez fighting on the offensive glass, fouls, we go make free throws, just keeping balls alive with effort.
Is it sort of a finite, you see the end of the tunnel type of deal as a senior? Is that sort of playing into it?
I mean, for me, I haven't even really been thinking about it as being the end of the tunnel. I just take it one step at a time, and I feel my teammates.
Now, when Ole Miss hits the court again, they will travel to the Swamp in Gainesville to take on the Florida Gators. Former Jackson Prep standout Ryan Buchanan has decided to leave the Ole Miss football program Saturday. The backup quarterback said that I came to the conclusion a few months ago that football would not be in my future, and it was time to start applying myself 100% to my future. He told Ole Miss Spirit, "It's time for me to find my new passion beyond football." In his 3 seasons with the Rebels, he completed 20 of 35 passes for 171 yards and 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions over 26 games while serving as the team's holder. Now, after the Devontae Kincaid transfer, the Rebels are down to 3 quarterbacks, including senior Chad Kelly, redshirt freshman Jason Pellerin, and early enrollee Shea Patterson. Now, there was a pretty big game last night called the Super Bowl. Cam Newton and Peyton Manning faced off against each other in what should have been a historical offensive matchup, but the game turned into a defensive nightmare for both teams. Here we get started off, and Cam Newton is just taken down, stripped, sacked, and recovered by Von Miller as the Broncos take the lead early and start off a nice success of the game. Then Cam Newton would go again, throwing it up, but wait, it's picked off, and he starts to take it back. It's not a good start for Cam Newton and the Panthers, but the Broncos would eventually recover that, and the Broncos would come back and score a nice touchdown right at the beginning. Peyton Manning getting pumped right there, seeing, could be his last game. But a little strange is Eli Manning, everyone's getting excited in the Manning suite except him. He's kind of, a little jealous. So the Ole Miss baseball team is hard at work and started inter-squad scrimmages last week. We got a chance to talk to a couple players to see how their off-season work is translating to preseason practices.
Each day I just try and come out and play as hard as I can, give it 100% out here. That's about it. During the off season, I just try to work on staying aggressive at the plate. Coach Clement has done a great job, with all the hitters, but me and him have been working on being more aggressive at the plate. The expectations are high for us. We're a great, well-known program, and we don't settle for anything less than that. But as an outfield, we want to compete and be known for one of the best in the SEC, and that's our goal.
Yeah. The Rebels will have their official media day next week, Tuesday, and will have their home opener February 19th against Florida International. The Ole Miss women's basketball team traveled to Athens, Georgia this weekend and got dominated by the Georgia Bulldogs 70-56. Freshman Medina Muhammad was the one bright spot for the Rebels with 15 points, while Aqueen Hayes also took down 10 rebounds. In a season that has not only been highlighted by poor efforts and losses, the Rebels also face allegations from the NCAA. The Rebels currently hold an overall record of 10-13 and 2-8 in SEC play. They have lost 8 of their last 9 and will have a chance to redeem themselves at home when they take on the Auburn Tigers. That's all the sports we have for you today. Be sure to follow us at Rebel_Watch and tune in Friday for our all sports show at 3 p.m.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
An Alabama state trooper was planning to deliver a ticket for speeding. Instead, he found himself delivering a baby.
Sean and Danny Lowe were rushing to the hospital when they were pulled over for driving too fast. During the process of being questioned, Shauna went into labor, but together Danny and the trooper delivered the baby boy safe and sound.
And his assistants didn't stop there. The officer visited the family in the hospital later that day, but he didn't show up empty-handed. He gave them cupcakes, flowers, and a starter kit for new parents. Well, that's our broadcast. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at @newswatch_UM for updates on the go.
You can also follow us on Snapchat at NewsWatch for exclusive behind-the-scenes looks at our newsroom. I'm Taylor Hardenstein.
And I'm Madison Heil. Good night.